Welcome here to Coon Rapids High School. It is Coon Rapids taking on St. Francis in the Class 5A Section 7 semis today. Great to have you along with us. I'm Brian Pyatt alongside Howie Shapiro. And first of all, thanks for welcoming me into the broadcast.
Oh, absolutely. This isn't the first time you and I have had the pleasure to broadcast before. Welcome as well.
Oh, it's good to be here. And I got to say, it's football weather. We know that right away. It's a little chilly. We'll see how that plays into the game here today. But Coon Rapids coming off a first-round bye. They got some rest. And then for St. Francis, kind of an upset against Duluth East on Tuesday.
They got to travel up north to Duluth East, 45-21 win. They played well, and they knew that if they ran the ball and controlled the line of scrimmage, they'd have that opportunity, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah.
And of course, Drew Dacus had a phenomenal game against Duluth East, and he's not a starter. He's kind of their weapon off the bench, so they're going to look to, again, try and control that line of scrimmage and try and keep the ball on the ground. As you mentioned, great football weather. It's cold. Ball's going to be hard. We'll see how many balls get actually thrown tonight.
Yeah, they're going to need a solid running game on both sides of the ball here today. So that's who we're watching on the St. Francis side for Coon Rapids. Tyler George. It's a guy that can do a lot of things on the field here today.
Tyler was the starting quarterback. They did a little change last week. They moved him to wide out, and he accepted it very well. He's a very good athlete, and he can not only run the ball and catch the ball, but he can throw the ball. So he's going to be a triple threat on the offensive side. Yet he is a phenomenal defensive player. So he's going to be one of the starting lineups. Starting linebackers got I think a sack and a half last week against last game against Hopkins. So he's going to be a force from outside.
Are you ready for some playoff football?
Absolutely. Are you?
Let's do it.
All right,
I think we're ready for it. We're going to take a quick break, and then we will be back here live at Coon Rapids High School with the kickoff. Coon Rapids taking on St. Francis coming up right after this. Welcome back here to Coon Rapids High School here on CTN. Coon Rapids getting set to take on St. Francis, the Fighting Saints, the number 6 seed. Brian Pyatt alongside Howie Shapiro. Great to have you here with us. And I think, Howie, just a lot of excitement, obviously, leading up to this one. This is how we got here. So St. Francis on Tuesday beating Duluth East in a bit of an upset.
Yep.
They go in there, pick up a big win, and that leads them here today. Coon Rapids had a bye in the first round.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because that Andover-Chicago Lakes game is pretty much finished at this point. They started at 1 o'clock. We got the late start because of SAT and ACT testing. So we'll see if we can get an update on that score, and we'll know who the winner of this game will play next Friday night.
Yeah, so both of these teams looking to advance. Small Edwards, the head coach, first-year head coach here at Coon Rapids, and what a job he has done in his first season, Howie.
Yeah, as good a job he's done. He's such a great guy, and he's worked really well with us, and he's really instilled a belief in these young men, and they've followed along, and they've done a really nice job. As you talked about, 5-3. Most wins we've seen here in a long time.
And on the other side, we saw him walking in there a little bit. Brent Swagert, the head coach, also a first-year head coach over there at St. Francis, guy that played college football at Montana State, played a little bit in the NFL.
Yep.
Said very brief. We talked to him before the game. And I have to point out, he's wearing shorts here today.
Toughest guy in the field.
You can't see it from that shot. But a tough guy, and we are getting set to kick off here at Coon Rapids High School. Coon Rapids won the toss. They have elected to receive, and it'll be Dustman to kick off for St. Francis, and we are underway. Bit of a squabble kick there, and jumping on top of it there, number 74 for Coon Rapids, and they will pick up and take over from the 40-yard line.
Let's talk about the offense up front. Roland Green, Jacob Nislin, Ricky Soto, Chance Alexander, and Quincy Taylor up front. Kenny Nowachi, Tyler George, and Jordan Brown are your receivers. Jalen Salazar, Jake Van Holzen is your quarterback, and Caleb Ness, number 2, is your tight end.
So here we go. Offense for Coon Rapids. Lining up, Van Holzen, the sophomore at quarterback in shotgun. He's going to hand it off Off to Salazar. He's got some room to the near side, and he's tripped up at about the 50-yard line. And it looks like he'll have enough for the first down.
You know, Brian, I think what St. Francis wanted to accomplish on that kickoff, I think they wanted to catch Coon Rapids off guard, and they wanted to see if they could get that ball first. Front line, you saw there's the linebackers, Petrucci, Hoagland, Perry, and Johnson. And in the defensive backfield for the Saints, Bonte, Bergman, Kaler. So they play that three-back set in the backfield. We'll see how that unfolds as this game continues.
So first down on the first play for Coon Rapids from about the 49-yard line. Once again, Van Holzen in the shotgun. Gonna hand it off once again. Salazar up the middle. Not as much room that time. Maybe a gain of a yard to bring up about 2nd and 9.
That'll be the key up front as to who wins the battle at the point of attack. I always talk about that. You got a big offensive line like Coon Rapids to try and open some of those holes for not only Salazar, but Jordan Brown as well, and of course Miles Taylor, we'll see, number 33 in the backfield.
Swigert, the head coach for St. Francis here this week, saying he knew that a bit of a size advantage here for Coon Rapids. He knew he was going to be up against a tough task here today. Interested to see how his boys respond. 2nd down here. Van Holzen tosses it off. That is Brown catch, and he's going to have a first down up across the 40-yard line to about the 36. So offensively rolling here early for Coon Rapids.
Yeah, again, the fake give to Brown, and then just a little soft toss to the outside. And Jordan Brown was hurt at the end in that Hopkins game and missed most of it. And it's certainly good to see him back because he is such an important part of their offense. There you see the season, 3 catches, 73 yards.
And it looks like St. Francis here actually going to take a timeout with 11:08 to go here in the first quarter. Once again, live here, or we're not live. I keep saying live.
Well, that's okay, because usually we are
happening. But we are happy to be here covering the contest. Coon Rapids taking on St. Francis. And, you know, we mentioned it in the pregame. It's certainly football weather, isn't it? It sure feels like it.
It definitely is, and I think that I think the kids like this kind of weather out there. And what you know what we like? We like Facebook.
We love Facebook.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you like us. Facebook.com/CTN Studios or CTN Coon Rapids. Make sure you like us. You'll see a lot of different events, a lot of pictures. It's good stuff that the boys back at the studio do.
You're a pretty popular guy on Facebook, I hear.
Yeah, I don't know.
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah, just ask me.
Toot your own horn.
Yeah.
First down here for Coon Rapids. Van Holzen takes the snap, and he'll hand it off. That's Miles Taylor getting his first touch of the game. Nice job defensively there, St. Francis, not giving up much.
Yeah, Coach Wagner talked about some things that they needed to do, and they have to be really stout up front. They know that Coon Rapids has a big offensive line, and they're going to have trouble all afternoon if they're not able to stay in their lanes and fill the holes. There you see the numbers for Miles on the season: 87 carries, 382 yards, almost 4.5 yards per carry.
You were telling me before, this is a kid that you like.
I like him.
You're going to see how he progresses here
I
throughout
like
the
him.
program.
He's just a sophomore.
So 2nd and 10 for Coon Rapids. George in motion. Van Holzen back to pass. He scrambles, and he's going to run it right up the middle, and fighting hard there for, gain of about 4 or 5 yards, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down here for the Cardinals.
On this situation, 4-down territory for the Cardinals. So far controlling the action here early on, and again, you see Tyler George moving to his right. I thought maybe he was going to look that way, but he did a nice job deciding I better cut up field so I can pick up some positive yards, get us a shorter situation if I can't find the stripe.
So a big 3rd down and 6 here for Coon Rapids. Opening drive here in the section semifinals. Winner of today's game advances to the section championship on Friday. 3rd down and 6. The toss to Salazar. He's got some room on the near side, and he is down with plenty of room, and he powers ahead to the 10-yard line. And a big pickup there on 3rd down for Salazar.
Boy, the blocking for him was huge. If you're going to see it here in the replay. Again, they did a nice job point of attack sealing the edge, but then Tyler George with a great block on the edge, allowing Salazar to turn that corner. And this drive continues.
The tackle there, Reese Kaler, the senior for St. Francis, getting the tackle, but Salazar, nice season for him, 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, and almost 6 yards a carry, so that's what you want to see from your running back.
So that'll bring up a 1st down, 1st and goal right around the 10-yard line. Van Holzen hands it off. Salazar up the middle. Powers ahead to around the 5-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd down.
We were talking about before the game whether if Coon Rapids won the toss, as you see here against Salazar. Look at the hole. I mean, look at the blocking up front, and that's the key for these big boys. That would they take the ball first, or would they put themselves on defense? And they wanted to establish something. They wanted to set a pace here.
Yeah, so maybe a little bit surprised that they decided to take the ball after winning the toss, but this is exactly what they wanted to do. They wanted to drive down the field on the opening drive, and so far so good. 2nd down, Van Holzen hands it off to Taylor, and Taylor, not a whole lot of room to run there. Nice job in the middle defensively for St. Francis.
Yeah, it was a good job by the Saints up front. They blew up that run opportunity for Coon Rapids by just, again, talked about staying in their lane, staying at home, not being blocked off the ball.
Look there at Maul Edwards, and he'd love to see his team punch it in here and get an early score.
Absolutely.
In this big semifinal game. 3rd down, 5 yards to go. The ball on the 5-yard line. And a snap that clearly some miscommunication there, and that is going to be a turnover as St. Francis jumps on the football. Wow. And what a big play defensively early for the Fighting Saints.
Oh, that was huge. We'll see the replay again, and just not Van Holzer couldn't get the snap.
Yeah, you saw Miles Taylor there trying to jump on it as well, but what a big play, and jumping on it there defensively for St. Francis. Looks like number 53. It's Ashton Perry, the junior, with a big play defensively. So we'll see what the defense here can do for Coon Rapids as they are called upon early here after an early miscommunication mistake by their offense. Handoff far side, up the middle, St. Francis gaining a few yards.
And this will be the key for the defense here. Just see if they can force a 3 and out and get the ball back, because the offense was moving the ball. There you take a look. Wessling, Lindenfelser, Leon, Helm, and Pierce up front for the Saints. Schroeder, Linson, the wide receivers, and Gerlach, the tight end. Aho, your quarterback. Lipinski, your running back, and Hoagland, the fullback for the Saints.
Aho working out of the shotgun, and he'll hand it up. Looks like that's Lipinski once again, and this time not a lot. Tough defense there by the Cardinals.
That was Caleb Ness in on the tackle for the Cardinals. So now puts him in a 3rd and long situation. Ammon, Willis, and Alexander up front for Coon Rapids. Shane Vadnais getting the start outside. Ness, Taylor, and George, the other linebacker. And Nowachi, Ian McMahon, Silla, and Dominic Jones round out that defensive backfield for Coon Rapids.
So we'll see what the defense can do. This would be a big stop after the turnover. 3rd down and 6. Aho firing, and that's caught. 1st down, that's Cole Linson with the catch for the Fighting Saints, and a big conversion there offensively early for St. Francis.
Watch Linson, he's just going to sit in the soft part of the zone, and just a quick little throw by Aho. And Cardinals looked like they may have had him wrapped up just before the marker, but he did a nice job of spinning away from a tackle attempt by Miles Taylor. And he's going to pick up that 1st down. Big 1st down.
I think this was a question here. Can you throw the ball with this kind of weather? Obviously wondering how this colder weather is going to factor into things. And I think this offense probably needs to be able to throw the ball for them to have success here today.
Agree.
So big 1st down conversion, 1st and 10. Aho hands it off to his running back. And some room here on the near side. This is number 28 for St. Francis with the ball. That's Drew Dacus. We talked about him in the pregame, and a ton of room across the 40-yard line and down to the 30 of Coon Rapids.
Just a nice job. Good block up front there. Steps around Vadnais and able to find the edge. He picks up a big chunk of yardage, and you know, the more confidence you give St. Francis coming in as the 6th seed against the number 2 Coon Rapids, the better it is for obviously for that young squad. And St. Francis moving the ball.
So 1st down and 10. 6:06 to go here in the opening quarter. Aho out of the shotgun, running back to each side. He takes the snap, handoff. That's number 22 working hard. Number 22, that's TJ Hoagland. the 5'8", 180-pound senior, picking up a couple of yards.
Yeah, he had to work really hard for those couple of yards. You see there, Tyler Georgian on the tackle, one of the Cardinals, bringing him down.
We talked about him in the pregame show as well. He's a guy that can do a lot offensively, defensively, special teams for Coon Rapids, and they're hoping for him to have a nice day here today.
Yes, absolutely.
2nd and 9. Aho under center. Hands it up the middle. Powering ahead there for a few yards, and that's going to bring up 3rd and short.
Yeah, big 3rd down for the defense here. And, I'm assuming at this point in the field as well, 4th down territory for St. Francis, although they have a heck of a field goal kicker.
Yeah, we've been hearing a lot about him.
He can boom him.
But you don't always hear about prolific kickers at the high school level. And
No.
This is a guy that's getting it done for them, so that is an option for him. Big 3rd down here, 3rd and 4. Can the defense hold? The snap, handoff, near side, running room, and that's a 1st down. Once again, Hoagland, I believe, with the carry. No, that's number 28, rather. That's
Dacus.
I got to say, these numbers are a little bit hard to see with these white-on-white jerseys.
Again, nice blocking up front. They opened up that hole for him, and they're continuing to keep this drive going. And so far, you have to be impressed after the defense giving up good yardage on that opening drive by Coon Rapids, and then unfortunately for the Cardinals, fumbling the ball away. They are so far doing a nice job of moving this ball downfield.
So 1st and 10, ball on the 19 for St. Francis. The first time that they've touched the ball, this coming off a turnover by Coon Rapids. Aho, once again, going to hand it off up the middle. And a couple of yards gained there. As this Coon Rapids defense trying to keep them from getting points. Once again, Hoagland, the carry, the senior for St. Francis. So 2nd and 8 coming up here for the Fighting Saints.
Under 4 minutes remaining in this opening quarter. Still no score, but the St. Francis squad driving.
2nd and 8 from the 17. Aho, snap. He's looking to throw, and he'll pass it far side. That is caught. Number 22 on the catch there. That's once again Hoagland. And again, bringing up a key 3rd down.
Again, just that soft little toss to the outside. And linebacker is a little bit soft to get there. Tyler George coming over and applying the tackle, but Hoagland able to get out and create some space for himself.
Yeah, nice catch there right on his fingertips. See a little bit of an equipment issue there, possibly. That's Hoagland, who just made the catch. He'll get that fixed and get back into play. So 3rd down and 5. Aho going to hand it off. Battling up the middle, and no, sir. Big stop there on 3rd down for the Coon Rapids defense.
We'll see what St. Francis has here at 4th down. And short. They certainly don't want to come away empty, but they have to be careful in this situation. Are they going to kick the field goal?
Yeah, it looks like they are.
They're going to kick the field goal.
Going to kick the field goal. So this is the guy that we were talking about, Hunter Dustman. Coach very complimentary about him when we talked to him. This is not out of his range for sure. Ball on the 13-yard line. Dustman kick, nearly blocked, but it is good.
Are they going to have a roughing the kicker?
Yeah, we do have a flag. Let's see what this is.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker. Number 9, defense. The kick is good. 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
Okay.
Again, you got to be aggressive, and you want to block that kick, and I understand that. And it's gonna give Coon Rapids a little longer field.
Yeah, looked like he was nearly going to get that.
I don't know. I'd like to see that again.
Dion McMahon coming through there for Coon Rapids and nearly getting a paw on it.
One more time, guys, if we can see that.
Mal Edwards not very happy about the call.
Let's take a look at it. Let's see how much contact he actually made with him. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, you hear them from the field
Mal.
there saying it's not a personal.
No.
Well, when it's all said and done, as he talks to the referees here, it's going to be a 3-0 lead for St. Francis.
Field goal was not good. Penalty results in a 1st and 10.
Okay.
Field goal is not.
This did seem kind of weird, yeah. So this is actually going to be a first down for St. Francis.
Yeah,
I
that's
thought that was kind of an
thought.
interesting decision. So they're going to assess the penalty yardage, and this will actually be first down and 10 for St. Francis here with the ball on the 7.
I was going to say, how do they give them the field goal if there's a foul?
So first and goal from the 7.
Oh, there's movement.
Movement. Looks like that'll be an offsides on St. Francis.
Yep.
Dead ball foul. False start. Number 73, White. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
So it's been a couple of early mistakes, you could say, for Coon Rapids. Obviously, the turnover as they were driving to put some points on the board.
You usually don't see the center move before everybody else.
Yeah, not something that head coach Brent Swagert wants to see there, but
yeah.
First and goal. This will take it to the 11-yard line. Aho going to work under center. Snap, handoff. This is Lipinski. Not a lot of room to work with there. He'll power ahead for a couple of yards and bring up second down.
Well, Brian, this is going to test the mettle of this Coon Rapids defense, no question about it. Now, second long situation, second goal situation.
And that was Dacus. I said Lipinski, but Dacus, the junior, getting the carry there.
Cardinals, Tyler George with the tackle.
Second and goal from the 7. Aho hands it off to the fullback. We'll grind ahead, some hard-earned yards there, and bring up a third down for St. Francis, and defense would like to get a stop here.
They would. It'll be interesting to see what St. Francis calls if they get that stop them here on third down, if they go back to kicking that field goal, or if they'll test them, and if they don't make it, leave them with a long field. I think you got to take some. I think you need to get points one way or another if you're St. Francis.
Here we go, third down and 4. Looking to pass right over the top, and that is a great defensive play by Dominic Jones to tip that away, and that'll bring up fourth down.
Yeah, he had a second opportunity at it. You can watch just that quick little throw over the middle, and he was open for a step, but Dominic Jones got a hand on it.
Yeah, nearly got it on the tip there.
They're going to go for it, Brian.
Nice defensive play there by Dominic Jones, and you're right. This offense going to stay out there.
Boy, huge fourth down for this Cardinal defense. They want to come away empty.
Here we go, Aho, he's going to hand it off, and running hard at the goal line, in there for the touchdown, and St. Francis strikes first.
Yeah, that's a tough situation.
And that is Drew Dacus with the touchdown. Had a great game against Duluth East, and he gets the first points here for St. Francis today.
Yeah, again, I mean, just look at the extra second effort. They looked like they had him stopped, but he kept his legs moving to get into the end zone.
Yeah, it was tough. Caleb Ness there trying to bring him down. A little bit too much momentum, though, for Dacus. And Dustman will try to tack on the extra point, and that is blocked.
Yeah.
That is Dion McMahon with a nice play on special teams. So 6-0 our score. Dacus, 4 carries, 58 yards. He's got the touchdown, so a nice start for him. But here's another look at the touchdown.
I mean, give him credit, because it looked like Coon Rapids may have had him stopped, and he just used that second effort and momentum to carry him over the stripe.
You know, and again, we talked about how Brent Swagert may be a little bit concerned about the size as we take a look here at the extra point. Nice job there, McMahon coming through, laying out. But Brent Swagert, head coach for St. Francis, was concerned about the size, but I think early on, his team has really responded nicely as they've been able to control the line of scrimmage to an extent and actually get a ground game going.
There's no question about it, and I think that's such a boost of confidence for this young squad coming in, traveling. There you see 15 plays, took 6:54, almost 7 minutes off the clock to go 90 yards.
Capped off by the 4-yard touchdown run by Dacus. Dustman once again will kick it off for St. Francis, and Coon Rapids will get an opportunity to see what they can do with the football. Stands starting to fill in here as fans braving the cold to watch some playoff football here today. And this is Jordan Brown with the return and running hard up ahead, and he'll take it to about the 27-yard line, and the offense will take over from there.
Pretty good field position again. We saw Coon Rapids. They can't panic in this situation. Obviously, there's plenty of time left in this contest. They know they can move the ball. I think defensively, the Cardinals just have to make sure that they can stop that running game of St. Francis.
Well, you have to wonder here too. There was a bit of a break with that first round bye. This team trying to get into a little bit of a rhythm, and St. Francis maybe carrying over some of that momentum from their game against Duluth East.
Well, there's no question about it. You haven't played in a while, Coon Rapids. It may take them a little while to get back in the flow, back in the rhythm.
So after an opening drive that got them inside the 10-yard line, and then they turned it over, the offense comes back out for take two. Handoff to Salazar, and a big hit defensively. That'll bring up second down.
Short gain on the play, just a yard. And again, there's the fake to Brown. But look at a good job by the defense. He threw 3 white jerseys there to bring him down.
That was number 35 there. Anthony Hoagland.
He's excited. There you see the shorts, wearing those shorts. He's rocking them.
That?
I don't believe it. I'm not sure why he was so upset. Maybe the guys in the truck saw something we didn't.
So second down and 9. Van Holzen hands it off to Salazar, trying to find room across the far side. Maybe gets a couple of yards, and that'll bring up third down.
A third and long situation. And it's a big third down situation for the Cardinals. I don't know if we'll get.
Yeah, and he's still pretty fired up.
Yeah, he's fired up.
Might just be trying to get his defense fired up here. Well, he knows that this would be a big stop.
Huge stop, and he knows he's got the underdog coming in here, and to score first is really big for this team.
So third down and 9, ball on the 27-yard line. Van Holzen out of the shotgun, 2 receivers to the right. Van Holzen will roll out to his right, fired, and that's caught. Tyler George for a big first down up to the 46-yard line.
We talked about Tyler in the opening. He's that big target on the outside, and Van Holzen is going to roll to his right and able to find him. Pass a little bit behind him, but he makes a nice adjustment, a nice catch on the ball. Keep this drive moving forward.
Yeah, nice job there, Van Holzen. Finding some room, getting the big first down, and that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. Your score here at Coon Rapids High School, 6-0. St. Francis with the early lead. We'll take a break and see you right back here after that. Welcome back here, start of the second quarter. St. Francis with an early 6-0 lead over Coon Rapids. Some fans out here enjoying this chilly weather, playoff football. And it is a 1st and 10 for the 45-yard line. Little toss here to Salazar. He's brought down behind the line of scrimmage by number 8 for St. Francis. Zach Gus, the senior, making a nice play defensively.
Yeah, it was a beautiful play, and again, with the loss, you put him in a second and long situation.
Jalen Salazar today, 7 carries, 38 yards. An integral part of the offense for Coon Rapids. Second down and 13, so loss of 3 on that first down carry. Van Holzen going to hand it off to Jordan Brown, and once again contact behind the line of scrimmage, and this defense is fired up.
Yeah, they really are, and they have a right to be, and they're playing well here early on. And they did give up some yards on that first drive for Coon Rapids, but now again you put yourself in another 3rd and long situation, not where you want to be as an offense.
Van Holzen will come back out there to call the play, and picked up a big 3rd down conversion on the last go around on 3rd down. We'll see if he can do it here again. We'll have Dominic Jones and Tyler George out wide right, out of the shotgun. Brown in motion. Van Holzen, and he's under pressure, trying to escape, but he can't. And a big sack for St. Francis.
Oh, they brought the blitz, and that was a great defensive call by St. Francis. One extra defender coming in, nobody to pick him up. Again, they did the offensive line did their job, but again, you get that one extra guy slipping through that hole, and Jake had nowhere to go.
It was Anthony Hoagland with the sack, and Tyler George will go back to punt now for Coon Rapids.
Oh, we got a piece of it.
Yeah, it looks like that'll go out of bounds at about the 46-yard line, and that's where St. Francis is going to take over with pretty good field position as they try to add to their 6-0 lead here early.
Yeah, confidence is a huge thing, and momentum is a huge thing, and right now St. Francis has that.
Yeah.
They're in good field position to continue to see if they can put some additional points on the board. I'll tell you, if they can do so, it puts so much pressure on Coon Rapids. I mean, still, like I said, plenty of game. The Cardinals have a pretty good defense, but they need to figure out what they need to do to keep this team down. The more opportunities you give them, momentum you give them, the tougher it's going to be.
Aho going to hand it off, and more running room. This ground game for St. Francis really clicking early.
Dacus on the run for St. Francis, and a nice tackle by Dominic Jones. You can
Got
see
about 6 yards on the carry.
I mean, look at the hole. Great blocking. He's able to get through it, and you'll watch Dominic Jones come in from his cornerback position to make the tackle.
So 2nd down and 4. 9:21 here to go in the 2nd quarter. Handoff, and not as much running room there that time for Dacus.
That was Tyler George.
Yeah, Tyler George, a nice play there defensively. So 3rd down. And the Cardinals would love to get this stop and get things back in the hands of its offense.
Tyler George did a nice job of just fighting off a block. May have said a little something to him as well before he got up off the ground. You gotta be careful there. You don't want an official hearing that.
3rd and 4. Crowd starting to come to life. Handoff, Lipinski, and I think he's going to be short.
Yeah, we'll see where they mark it. Looks like they're marking right at the 45. So we'll see what they want to do here. They're going to go for it.
Yeah, looks like they are.
They better make it, because that'd be a tough call at this point.
Aho going to keep it.
I don't know that he has it.
And it'll really depend on the spot.
One official has it one way, one official has the other. We'll see where they spot it.
The defense saying no way.
I don't know. We'll see. They're obviously going to have to call for a measurement.
Have to measure it out here. Just get a look at Aho there, the quarterback.
I think they're going to be just a bit short.
Yeah, it's going to be really close. It is actually pretty hard to tell from up here in the broadcast booth. Moment of truth here. And it looks like he's got enough for the first down.
He's got more than enough for the first down.
Maybe your eyes aren't working very well.
Yeah, you know, I'm old. Well, from here, I'm looking right down the marker. It doesn't look like it was a first down. It doesn't look like it was that close, or that it made it by that much. But what do I know?
Big pickup there offensively for St. Francis, and they'll keep the drive alive. 8:11 to go. 2nd quarter, semifinals. Winner moves on to play on Friday night. Handoff once again, Lipinski.
He's going to maybe gain a yard.
Yeah, gains a couple of yards there. Once again, keep wanting to say Lipinski. That's Dacus, who's had a really nice game offensively so far for the Fighting Saints.
Well, they're close. Close sounding
Same
name.
thing,
Yeah.
right? They're both running backs.
That's
I guess
true.
we have that going.
That's
for
true,
us.
absolutely. But you know what?
2nd and 9.
Give St. Francis credit going for it on 4th down on that situation and keep this drive alive. That's a gutsy call in that situation. But I like the fact that you're the underdog. You come in here, you want to put pressure on Coon Rapids.
Aho working out of the shotgun. In motion. Wyatt Schroeder and the handoff. This is once again Dacus, and he's got some room to about the 37-yard line. And another 3rd down. You got to think this is probably 4-down territory for them. And that ground game continues to churn. Picking up a pretty significant amount of yardage here early on with their ground game.
And you're not letting the penetration to the backfield, so you keep that offensive line keeps that defensive line bottled up at the point of attack, and then you can gain the edge, pick up that solid yardage.
Here we go, 3rd down. That's Lipinski, and he has a 1st down. That'll move the chains as St. Francis here trying to add to its 6-0 lead.
So again, just do enough to hold those guys up at the point of attack, and line of scrimmage doing a really nice job of it. St. Francis, you have to be impressed with what they're doing here so far today.
Lipinski, 6 carries, 13 yards here today. The 6-foot, 180-pound senior. So 1st down, new set of downs for the Fighting Saints. Back to pass. Aho looking for Schroeder, and just a bit out in front of him. Incomplete. The coverage there by Kenny Nwachi.
Yeah, and actually Schroeder had a step on Nwachi, just a little bit too much air under the ball by Aho. He puts this on him. That's a touchdown.
Nice tight spiral there from Aho. Is a nice looking throw, just a little bit too far.
Yeah, good protection up front, allowing him to set up and throw.
2nd and 10, ball on the 33-yard line. Aho 2 for 3, 15 yards passing here today. Under center. Hands off to the fullback. And escaping there. Looked like they had him stopped for really short, but he gains a couple more yards for a 3rd and short now coming up.
Yeah, again, it looked like he did. They had him wrapped up. And now, again, going for that. Looked like Ness was going for that ball, trying to rip it out of his hand, and he was able to move past him.
It's TJ Hoagland there on the carry. You see 16 yards for him. So a number of guys now contributing offensively for the Fighting Saints.
Yeah, no question.
So can the defense respond? 3rd and 3. Ball on the 25. Aho barking out orders from the line, and a quick handoff, trying to kind of catch the defense off guard there, and I don't think he got the 1st down.
No, I think it's going to be a little short, or they're going to go for it again on 4th down. Be about a yard short.
Once again, Hoagland on the carry.
Miles Taylor on the tackle for Coon Rapids. Now again, another big 4th down situation, for both sides, obviously, but more so for the defense.
So can they hold?
Don't jump.
4th and 1. Yeah, you want to be smart. Yeah. Aho out of the shotgun. Quick handoff.
He's got it.
And he's got enough for the 1st down. Nice physical work there up front offensively. And Lipinski with the carry.
And you get that little momentum. You're snapping it out of the shotgun situation, and Lipinski again keeping those feet moving, pushing that momentum forward.
And a fresh set of downs. 1st down now as this offense continues to roll. They've had the momentum early here. He fakes the throw and then going to hand it off to Dacus.
Yeah, that didn't fool anybody.
Dacus just looks like he's been running hard, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he's covered in dirt there.
Well, you look at that
those
whole
white jerseys.
The big boys up front, they've got some dirt on them as well. Second quarter, 1st half, running out of time.
Yeah, they really have controlled the time of possession, haven't they? Aho Another handoff to Dacus, and a great job defensively there. Caleb Ness.
Yeah, Caleb Ness is, not in our house. We're not going to have any of that. Again, there's the give. Ness just beating his man, using his speed to get past the offensive line.
Those are the plays that you need. Players like that to step up and make a big play when momentum not really on your side here at the moment. They need guys to step up.
Well, so now we talked about 4-down situations, and now if you keep them bottled up here and make it 4th and long, I think they'll kick the field goal, at least attempt so anyway, I believe.
So 3rd down at 12.
Having a weapon like that is huge.
Aho looking to pass, trying to find room now. He'll take it and run, and he's hit pretty hard there. Ness once again on the tackle, and it'll be 4th down and about 10 yards.
Yeah, got back to the original line of scrimmage on that. Under 3 minutes remaining. They're going to kick that field goal, or at least attempt to. Again, Cardinals doing a good job making sure that he wasn't going to get past anybody. Looked like Austin Alexander and Ness in on the tackle. A little confusion there between the holder and
Hunter Dustman going to come in here and try to tack on 3 more points.
Timeout, St. Francis. I think they were going to run out of time.
So timeout here, 2:36 to go in the second quarter.
Just don't run into the kicker.
Don't do that again.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so Dustman early made a field goal. There was a roughing the kicker call made, and that gave them a fresh set of downs, and that's how they punched in the touchdown. They missed the extra point that was blocked. And I think if you're Coon Rapids, kind of have to just withstand this early rush from St. Francis, this momentum, and try to just get back to what you do best, right?
No question about it. I think you're right in the fact that they're able to keep them out of the end zone, I think is really important. Some of the faithful here braving the elements, and it's kind of a half-hearted wave attempt. Wake up.
Well, you're so cold, it's kind of hard to move out there.
I know, right? But you think you'd want to move a little bit.
It would probably help you out a little bit. Yeah, this is a fun time of the year.
Yeah,
a lot
no
of
question.
good football being played all across the state, including right here at Coon Rapids High School. Great to have you along with us here on CTN. Brian Pyatt, Howie Shapiro, and a field goal attempt. Dustman. The kick is up, got the distance, it's good.
And you got to feel pretty good if you're St. Francis up 9-0.
Gives a nice little chest bump there to his head coach as Dustman 15 for 19
That's not bad.
Career when it comes to field goals. And what a weapon that is for a high school football team to have a guy that can kick the football like that.
Andover beat Chisago Lakes 50-24, so the winner of this game will travel to Andover on Friday night.
We'll see if the offense here can get rolling for Coon Rapids. They looked really good on their first drive. They drove it down inside the 10-yard line. They then turned the ball over, and that's kind of resulted in this wave of momentum for St. Francis. Dustman going to tee it up, and he'll kick it off. Looks like Jordan Brown and Kenny Nowachi going to be back to receive for Coon Rapids.
And don't forget, St. Francis will get the ball to start the second half as well. So,
yeah, the offense going to have to work pretty quick here for Coon Rapids if they want to get something here before the half. 2:32 to go. Dustman boots it away. It's caught by Brown, and he'll bring it out. Across the 20, to about the 25, he's still alive, and he'll carry it across the 30-yard line. Fighting for every yard that he could there.
And he was tiptoeing that sideline as well. There you see the scoring drive for the Saints, 15 plays. And you talked about it, Brian, 7:15, a lot of time taken off the clock. 34 yards on the field goal, 37 yards on the field goal.
37-yard field goal there by Dustman.
And that's a weapon at the high school level. I mean, if you have a kicker that can do that as it gets later in that game.
Yeah, it's a huge advantage, especially if it comes down to a close game, that you can have a field goal kicker to boot it away. So here we'll see what the offense can do. 2:18 in the first half. Van Holzen to the far side. He wants to run, trying to find a way to cut up field, and there's nothing going there. Nice speed there defensively by St. Francis.
Yeah, they do a nice job of tracking the ball to the sideline. He's going to lose a yard. There's some more of the fans bundled up in this cold Saturday, October afternoon.
We were talking to head coach for St. Francis. I asked him about the weather on Tuesday, and he said it was pretty good up in Duluth. They weren't dealing with cold temperatures then, but it has changed a lot since then.
Yeah, definitely.
And a much different story here on this Saturday in Coon Rapids. And a whistle.
Timeout, Coon
Looks
Rapids.
like it's going to be a timeout here by Maul Edwards. He'll talk to his guys. And maybe just a chance to chat with them. You obviously don't want to make a mistake and turn the ball over deep in your own territory with 1:33 to go in the first half.
Yep. No, you don't. You don't. But do you want to get points? Absolutely. You've got a long field here, so this is going to be a tough situation for them to get points with minute 35 remaining in the half.
Well, Cotton Eye Joe being played here.
Well, I'm looking for our cameraman Brandon Rickard because this is his jam. This is his jam, and he usually does a nice little dance on the sideline, but he's not doing it tonight. So.
So here we go after the timeout by Coon Rapids. 1:35 to go. 2nd and 11. Ball on their own 29. Van Holzen out of the shotgun. He'll fire it. That's caught by Dominic Jones to about the 38-yard line.
We'll see if they call another timeout. Or they're going to hustle the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, the clock's still ticking.
You know, Brian, typically this isn't the Cardinal game. They like to control the clock, power football. And so now you're throwing the ball, and that, again, typically not what you like to do.
Jones and Kenny Nowacki to the near side, and a throw. A little miscommunication there. That's incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd and 4. And both Dominic Jones and Kenny Nowacki there trying to do a bit of a crossing route there.
Yep.
Didn't quite connect.
The Cardinals have the athletes and the speed, no question, on the outside. And, you know, are they going to try and put a situation where, it's 4th down.
Oh, it is 4th down now, so that was 3rd down.
Correct, yep, that was 3rd down, so they're going to punt the ball away with a little over a minute remaining.
Tyler George will go back to do the punting duties. Now you got to wonder, will St. Francis try to get points on the board here? Or are they okay just going into the half up by 9 points? George gets it away.
Or will they try and get some field position and kick a field goal?
Takes a nice bounce, and then it's picked up. It's number 1, Cole Linson for St. Francis on the return.
So they have just under a minute remaining in the half. And if they can get a nice chunk of yardage here early on, we talked about they have a weapon in their field goal kicker.
Yeah, it certainly is something to think about. So great to have you here with us. Brian Pyatt alongside Howie Shapiro. It's fun to have some playoff football,
isn't it?
Obviously the score, we wish it was in the other way if you're Coon Rapids.
No question.
What a nice start here it's been for St. Francis. I think they knew that if they had a shot in this game, they needed to come in and get things going early, and that's exactly what they've done in the first half.
Yeah, they just put the Cardinals on their heels, and they basically have taken it to them.
Waho going to hand it off, see what they can get. This is Dacus running hard, making a couple guys miss, and he's up to about the 43-yard line.
Yeah, again, it looked like Carter Geyer trying to make the tackle at first, bounced off of him. And the only negative thing is that play took a lot of time. 40 seconds remaining in the half. We're going to see it again. Just a basic handoff, and he's going to bounce to the other side. That time, Ammon not able to bring him down. And a couple of missed tackles. You got to go low.
Yeah, and he was upset here about this kind of late hit. You see Caleb Ness there coming in, and Dacus not happy about it. No penalty on the play, though. It's 2nd down and 2 now. And a little flea flicker here, looking for Schroeder, and a nice play. Nowacki coming in at the last second to tip it away.
Well, and they're fortunate that ball hung up because he got behind Nowacki. Nowacki coming back. They're through a flag. We'll see where this is. I think this one's going against St. Francis.
Yeah, the early indication from the Coon Rapids sideline is that this is going against the offense.
must be a hole.
Illegal formation. Not enough men on the line of scrimmage. St. Francis, 5-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
So it wouldn't have counted even if that was a complete pass, but Kenny Nawachi coming up big there defensively. Nice play by him, batting it away. Swigert there, head coach for St. Francis, trying to see what they can do here with 33 seconds to go. Nice to see some students in attendance here today cheering on their squad.
Yeah, they'd probably be a lot warmer if the score was a little different.
Be jumping around a little bit more.
Yeah, I would think so. But when your squad is trailing 9-0 in this section game.
2nd and 6 from the 35. Going to hand off up the middle.
Oh, he fumbled the ball, I thought. But he was able to get back on.
Yeah, it looked like he did come
back
loose.
on it. Yep.
It was Lipinski there. He's able to fall back on it and avoid a late turnover, and I think this might be the end of the first half. I think they might just drain the clock, about 15 seconds to go.
There you saw the ball come out. Yeah, they're just gonna let it go, and they'll be happy to take a 9-0 lead into the break.
Yeah, that'll do it. So 9-0, a really good first half from St. Francis in the section semifinals. We'll have all the action for you in the second half coming up. High school football on CTN.
My life is full of statistics. Thing is, I could have dropped out of school and become one myself, but I didn't because I had people that believed in me. Here's another statistic. 7,000 students drop out every school day. That's one every 26 seconds. It's time that students know that we believe in them.
Inspire a student and share your message of support at boostup.org.
Welcome back here to Coon Rapids High School. Halftime. Coon Rapids taking on St. Francis here on CTN. Brian Pyatt alongside Howie Shapiro. And I have to say, what a good first half for St. Francis. They came in probably feeling like, at least size-wise, they were a little bit overmatched. But they have responded really nicely in the first half.
Outside of not getting a touchdown at the end of that last drive, they have probably worked about as well as possible for St. Francis. Cardinals have to be scratching their head a little bit. They had a nice drive, lost that on 3rd and goal on a fumble, and since then they really haven't moved the ball the way that they wanted to. Yeah. St. Francis will start the second half on offense, and I think that's something that Cardinal defense say, we're going to get a 3 and out, and we're going to get this ball back, we're going to gain momentum, because they're the kind of team that can do that. They're not necessarily a quick strike team. They're a ball control team, and that's what they want to get back to.
Well, let's get you caught up here. 9-0 the score here. St. Francis with the lead, and it was early on offensively, just couldn't really get a lot going. They did have a long early drive, but they then turned the ball over. You see Jordan Brown there fighting for some yards, but defensively, St. Francis stepping up, a turnover there, and they were fired up. They brought some energy really along the duration of the first half, and then Drew Dacus, what a nice first half that he had. Some long runs, and then he's able to cap it off with a 4-yard touchdown run. Eventually to put them on the board, 6-0, put them up at that point, but he's having a nice first half so far.
Yeah, they're running the ball well against this defense, and the Cardinals, again, not doing what they need to do to be successful here.
So here's the touchdown run, I believe. Dacus churning ahead. The defense trying to keep him out there at the goal line, but he plunges in. The extra point on that was blocked. But then another field goal here. Dustman for St. Francis, really good field goal kicker, makes it a 9-0 contest. So we'll have the second half for you coming up as we look at the game stats. Rushing yards 119 to 36 in favor of St. Francis. Passing yards, Coon Rapids has 35. But man, those rushing yards, pretty impressive.
Yeah, pretty impressive. Not quite as what's not impressive is the math in total yards for St. Francis. But you look at 36 yards rushing, and Brian, they can't do that. Yeah. They are a team that averages a lot more than that. We're just going to add a 1 to that. There we go. Look at that.
There
the magic.
It is.
There. Good job,
Live
guys in the truck. Good job, everybody.
Time of possession also in favor of St. Francis, 15 minutes to 8.
The key was, you got to remember, that touchdown came after a roughing the kicker call. We'd be at 6-0 at this point instead of 9-0. So we'll see how that plays out at the end of this contest.
And here's the brackets, and we now know who the winner of this game will face. So Andover beating Chisago Lakes 50-24. So that sets the stage for Friday.
It does, and Andover's going to be a tough opponent no matter who plays them.
We'll see who can get the win here today. Fans in attendance hoping their team wins 9-0 at the half. St. Francis over Coon Rapids. We have the second half on CTN coming up right after this. Hey!
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Welcome back here to Coon Rapids High School. Second half coming up here on CTN. St. Francis leading Coon Rapids 9-0. As we get ready to roll here into the third quarter, and guys like Tyler George looking for a little momentum, a little rhythm here as we head into the third quarter, because Howie offensively, they need to get something going.
They really do, and not that I'd ever want to be a fly on a wall, but I would have liked to have been a fly on the wall in that locker room in Coon Rapids to see what Coach Paul Edwards had to say in terms of the performance of the first half for the guys. And we'll see how they react coming out here, but St. Francis is going to get the ball. I think it's an important job for the defense to go out and try and force 3 and out, get that ball back in the hands of their offense.
Yeah, I really have to hand it to St. Francis in the first half. They've done a nice job coming in here against a team that has a better record, is a bigger team. Their head coach knew that heading in, but they played a good first half of football, and they've kind of put Coon Rapids here on their heels a bit. And we'll see how they respond as Tyler George getting set to kick off and get the second half underway. Nice kick here. Caught around the 15-yard line. And nice hit. Physical right off the bat.
Thomas Silla just laid the lumber to him.
Yeah, that's talk about making an early statement here. Special teams. Give you another look at it. There you go. Yeah, Thomas Silla, the senior, with a big hit early on, and St. Francis going to get the ball. So they'll take over from the 29-yard line with a 9-0 lead, trying to advance to the section championship game on Friday. We know the winner of this game going to take on Andover, who beat Chisago today. And Aho going to start out of the shotgun. He'll hand it off. And a couple of hard-earned yards there. Lipinski with the carry will bring up second down.
He's a little slow to get up, too. Yeah, he's a little dazed. I think he got a big hit.
And he'll have to obviously go out of
okay.
the play.
That's how
here.
the French wear their hitting.
Yeah, a little tilted to the
yeah,
right.
Exactly, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I hope he's okay.
Yeah, hope he's okay.
Athletic trainer there going to chat with him, and took kind of a hit there. So what do you think Paul Edwards said to the squad?
I think he said, guys, we're not playing our game. He said we have to toughen up on defense, but I think they have to do a good job opening the holes on offense. You know, they're not going to get away from what they do. You're talking about you're down 9-0. You know, it's not like you're down 21-0 right. and you're going to have to throw the ball. They're going to, again, try and get away from, they're not going to get away from what they do, but I think they have to play better. There's no question.
Yeah, it's all going to start defensively here. 2nd and 7 for St. Francis. Aho takes the snap, hands it off, and this is Dacus once again running room across the 45-yard line, out of bounds at about the 47. And what a first half he had. Dacus, the lone touchdown for St. Francis. He's rushed for 80 yards, and he's really been hard to stop, Howie.
He really has, and you tack that gain on, another 14 yards for him, but he was patient on that last run. It looked like Coon Rapids defense was gonna get it to stop him, but he was real patient, watched where he needed to be, and is able to hit that hole.
Yeah, some hard-earned yards there for him, and He picks up the first down, brings up first and 10 here from the 46-yard line. Under center, Aho hands it off. And that time defensively, Caleb Ness in the mix. As nice stop there defensively for the Cardinals.
We saw Matt Ammon and Frendarius Willis as well, the big nose tackle for Coon Rapids, in on the tackle.
It's TJ Hoagland there with the carry, the senior, and they've been working that a lot here today, trying to get that quick handoff to the fullback, catch the defense possibly off guard, but that time up to the task. So 2nd and 10 from the 46, opening drive here of the second half. Aho rolling to his right, throws it, and that's caught for a gain of maybe a yard, but looks like it just goes right back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and Aho had to get rid of the ball. You saw Tyler George coming in from his linebacker position and with a full head of steam, and he knew he better get rid of that ball, otherwise he was going to be flattened. So no gain. It looks like they may have given him a half a yard, but nonetheless, it's going to be 3rd and long situation. Big play for the defense. We talked about Coon Rapids defense having to come out on this first drive, get a stop. This is the play to do it.
Yeah, and the crowd knows it here. They know this is a big play. They're making some noise. 3rd and 10. Aho hands it off. Dacus once again, room to run, and he powers ahead for a big Fighting Saints first down.
Wow, that's just a tough play to give up if you're the Cardinal defense on 3rd and long. And you've got to stop that run. Great job, give credit. Nice block on Vadnais as well coming in, and all Cardinals can do, McMahon can do, is just hold on for dear life and make sure you bring him down.
Dacus will come out of the football game, get a little rest. Now over the 100-yard mark, 105 yards here this afternoon.
Yeah, he's hurt a little bit. I think it's his hand or his arm.
It looks like he is talking to the athletic trainer. We will keep an eye on that for you. 1st and down here offensively for St. Francis. Another quick handoff up the middle to Hoagland. And stopping there defensively are the Cardinals. Bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just a situation where the Cardinals defense are just being outplayed at the point of attack. And so you see Frendarius Willis coming out for Coon Rapids. Seems to be okay.
It was obvious coming in that the size advantage was in favor of Coon Rapids up front.
Oh, there's movement.
Yeah, some movement here, and that'll back them up for 5 yards.
Yeah, dead ball foul.
But
false start. Number 51 White. 5-yard penalty, replay 2nd down.
Yeah, we knew the size advantage was in favor of Coon Rapids, but St. Francis has done a really nice job kind of working around that and still finding ways to produce offensively.
It hasn't bothered them, obviously, at this point in time, but you're right, though. They're being patient on offense, especially Dacus is being very patient when he's been running the ball, and that's why he's been successful. He hasn't, he's been able to slough off that first hit and, again, find that little bit of room, and once he does, he gets to the outside and he picks up great positive yardage.
9 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. 2nd down and 14. Handoff. This is Dacus once again. Not as much room to work with there. Gains a couple of yards and a 3rd and long coming up here for the offense.
Yeah, and again, you have another 3rd and long situation for the defense for the Cardinals. You have to stop them. I mean, this is a play you have to stop them. If you want to take some control in this game, this is the play of the game for Coon Rapids in terms of defense. Defensively, you have to get momentum back. Cardinals have no momentum at this point.
Yeah, they just picked up a 3rd and long. Offense, we'll see if they can do it again, but defensively here, Coon Rapids, they know they need to stop. Down 9-0 here in the section semifinals. 3rd and 13, Aho back to pass. Now he'll run, and he's got some room to work with. Hit by Miles Taylor there.
Be a little short.
And I think he's going to maybe be short, although he might have enough.
Oh, no, he does.
Yeah, he's got the first down. And once again, this offense, Howie converting on 3rd and long to keep this drive alive.
Yep.
And Aho wanted to pass, decided to tuck it and run with it, and took a big hit there from Miles Taylor. Big size advantage there for Taylor, but Aho gets the first down. You see his numbers, 3 carries. He's run for 16 yards here today. First down, faking the pass. He'll hand it off, and not much room there to work with. Defensively there, Austin Alexander in on the tackle. So loss, looks like a loss of a couple of yards there. So second down and about 11 for the offense of St. Francis. Ball on the 32-yard line. St. Francis trying to put up some points on the board here in their opening drive of the second half. Aho gives it to Lipinski in the defense. Standing strong there. Caleb Ness in the mix there with the stop.
Well, Brian, another 3rd and long situation for St. Francis, and how many times can they convert? How many times can the defense whiff and not allow them to gain first downs? We're going to see another one here.
And you might see them go for it on 4th down if they don't get it here on 3rd. We'll see what they decide.
It depends how much they gain on this 3rd down play. There you see the numbers so far to 12 tackles for Coon Rapids Cardinals. Caleb Ness, the leading tackler for the squad.
The center of that defense. So here we go, 3rd and 13. Can the defense hold? Aho firing out signals. He'll take the snap, wants to pass, and he's swallowed up. There is a flag on the play, but a sack there for the defense. They needed that. We'll see what the flag was.
No, it's going to go against St. Francis. It's going to be a hold.
Holding. Number 73 offense has been declined. 4th down.
Now they do stop him.
What a big play there. The defense needed a stop.
They did.
And a big sack there, so they will punt, and Coon Rapids going to get the football here for the first time, assuming everything goes according to plan here on this punt, as Hunter Dustman out to boot it away. High floating kick. Nowachi and also McMahon back there to receive it, and they just let that one bounce down to the 1-yard line, and what a nice special teams play there for St. Francis. And that'll really back up the offense as they try to get some points on the board.
Yeah, it's going to give them a long field, and either way they're going to have to get points. And it's just going to have to be a sustained drive.
This is a look here at this play. You see kind of a fair catch signal, and then let it bounce down there, and attentively a couple of St. Francis players there to lock it in at the 1-yard line. And this is in that territory. You have to be careful about a safety, obviously.
Yeah.
We'll see how they try to work through this. Handoff, Van Holzen. And this is Taylor grinding, trying to gain a couple of yards, but I don't think he got much. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Did he gain a yard? He may have gained a yard, yeah.
Yeah, maybe it looks like he got just a little bit there. Going to bring up 2nd and about 9.
Again, this 3rd quarter is flying by quickly. A little over 5 minutes remaining in it.
You get the feeling that Coon Rapids just needs points on this drive of some kind.
They do.
Especially, as you've been saying, time seems to just be flying in this football game, and they need points. So 2nd and 9. Little motion there. Once again, a handoff right up the middle, and not a ton of room to work with defensively. Really strong up front there for the Fighting Saints.
You're not going to get points that way. You put yourself now in a 3rd and long situation, and you talked about it. You get backed up against your own goal line. You got to be careful in that situation. You want to make the completion, obviously, but you got to make sure you don't turn the ball over.
All Edwards looking on. His team needs some energy, needs some life, needs a big play to go in their direction offensively. So 3rd and 6. Van Holzen back to pass. Now he'll run it. Trying to find some space. He's hit hard, and it looks like I think he's going to pick up the 1st down.
He's right at the marker.
And that will move the chains. Yeah. So a big play there. Van Holzen, the sophomore, doing it with his legs.
Now good coverage downfield as well.
Big stat here from that first half. They had 3 first downs on their opening drive, and then since then, 1 first down the entire first half after that. Trying to pick up some first downs here in the second half as Salazar gets the carry.
You know, and Jalen Salazar has been successful when he's been able to gain the edge. And again, just testing that middle of the St. Francis defense. They're going to try. They're going to have to try and set the edge and see if they can get them to the outside.
Taylor comes out. George in for the offense. 3:44 to go in the third quarter. Nice stop by the Coon Rapids defense to get the ball in the hands of its offense here. We'll see what they can do with it. 2nd and 6. Van Hulsen back to pass. Pumps, now looking to run, signaling ahead to Salazar, trying to get it to him. And I think it was batted away.
Yeah, it looked like almost intercepted to me, too.
Yeah, it was number 17 for St. Francis there with a nice play. That's Zach Bonte.
He's got a hand on it.
Coming in there just at the last second. That would have been a big play.
Oh, could have been huge
for the offense.
And I think he may have picked up the first down. He would have had a good opportunity if he had just kept the ball at that point. Now you're 3rd and 6 and is still in a tough situation on the field. And
yeah, Bonte, a sophomore, young player contributing. This is a team that they're a young squad, St. Francis. They only have 2 wins on the season, but one of them, their win last week against Duluth East to get them here. Pass across the far side, and once again, Bonte just bats it away.
I'm not sure why he didn't intercept that. And I think his coaching staff is telling him the same thing. Why don't you pick that off?
Yeah, he had a prime opportunity there for the interception, but decides to just bat it to the ground.
I mean, obviously, you put him in a punting situation, but I mean that's a ball that he should have just picked off.
George, the intended receiver there. A couple back-to-back big plays there for Bonte. And it brings up a 4th down, so they will have to punt it away. Tyler George will go back for Coon Rapids. Kick. And number 1 for St. Francis to receive, that is Cole Linson, and it's down at pretty much the exact 50-yard line, and that's where St. Francis's offense will go back to work here with 3:10 to go in the third. A score on defense, I think, would be a good thing for Coon Rapids right
From
about
your
now.
lips,
They just
my
need,
friend.
yeah, they just need something to go their way.
They do. You know, and if you're St. Francis, you're just going to continue to run the ball. I mean, why wouldn't you at this point? They've been successful keeping the ball on the ground, and they're holding a 9-0 lead with 3 minutes remaining in the third.
Dacus once again getting the carry and
Miles Taylor
thrown down there.
So we'll have none of that.
Yeah, you were saying what? You really like him, Taylor.
I do like Miles Taylor, and I like his brother Quincy. I mean, we have so many good guys on this squad. So many fine young men.
And just an incredible season for this program. Yep. Obviously changing classes this year, but the first year of the season, that snapped a 22-game losing streak for the program.
Yep.
So no matter what direction things go here today, what an incredible season it's been. Obviously, they'd like to see it continue. St. Francis churns up some more yards on the ground, and then we're going to have a flag coming in.
And it's going to go against the Cardinals, I believe. I don't know if it was a face mask.
Well, here, listen in.
During the run, face mask, number 2, 5-yard penalty.
That hurts.
Caleb Ness grabbing the face mask. The officiating crew, Kevin Perry, Luke Schaff, Chuck Hollenbach, Seth Pugh, and Phil Bernards.
Yeah,
the men in stripes.
Yeah, we thank Kevin Perry for wearing our microphone.
Doing a great job today.
Absolutely.
The penalty makes it 2nd and short here. The handoff, Lipinski up the middle with some momentum, and he dives ahead for the first down up to the 36-yard line. 38-yard line, it looks like.
Yeah, again, just good forward momentum by St. Francis. They're doing what they want to do, Brian, and they're controlling the ball on the ground and taking time off the clock.
Yeah, controlling that time of possession.
Yeah.
2:12 to go here in the third quarter. Snap, Aho under center, and handoff, and he doesn't go very far there. Tripped up. Bring up 2nd and 10. And we just got some hot chocolate delivered to us here in the booth.
Shannon Madison delivered us some hot chocolate. Amazing.
Look at this.
Right? Well, you know when you're here.
Well,
see, we never get anything delivered to the booth, and then one time you're here.
I don't know.
We get some hot
true.
chocolate.
You guys get the treatment up here in the press box.
Yeah.
Love it. So 2nd and 11. Defense trying to come up with another stop. Handoff. Looks like that's Dacus again, and Tyler George in on the stop. So bringing up a 3rd and long. Opportunity for the defense to get off the field.
I think as you see at the end of the play after this is over, Dak is a little unhappy with one of his teammates. Had a few words to say to him.
Tyler George, 11 tackles here this afternoon. A player that can contribute it really on all sides of the football. Offense, defense, and special teams.
Yep.
The 3rd and 15, the toss. Lipinski on the carry, trying to break free from defenders, and he won't. That brings up a 4th down, and I would imagine they will punt the football here.
How do you not this situation? You don't want to give Coon Rapids a short field if you don't make it.
Oh, check that. It was Dacus again. Dacus continues to have a great afternoon.
It's 4th and 10. Yeah, they're going to, I mean, again, I'm surprised it took them so long to get the punting unit on the field.
Dustman will go back to punt it away. His time running down here in the 3rd quarter. And I wouldn't be surprised if they just let this thing run down to 0 if they have the time to do it.
And I think that's exactly what they're going to do.
And there is the buzzer. So through 3 quarters of play here in the section semifinals, St. Francis up 9-0. Coon Rapids still looking for its first points of the afternoon. See what they can muster up when we come back here on CTN.
This isn't Madison Square Garden. These drills probably won't make anyone a #1 draft pick. But these players are practicing for something important. While they work on their jump shots, they're also learning teamwork, discipline, self-confidence, how to deal with wins and losses. Skills that will make them winners long after they leave the court. Support high school activities in your community, because when kids take part, they get set for life.
And we are back here on CTN. Well, playoff football coming at you here from Coon Rapids High School. Start of the 4th quarter, 9-0. St. Francis with the lead. As we're getting ready for St. Francis to punt it away, and Coon Rapids will get the football as they desperately need points, Howie.
They really do. And you had a shot of defensive coordinator Mike Weber. Did not look happy. That man did not look happy. And rightly so.
And you got to hand it to St. Francis. They've come in here. They've played a very solid football game. Coming off their big win Tuesday against Duluth East, it feels like they've kind of carried that momentum into this contest as Dustman boots it away. Nowachi catches it at the 1-yard line. He drops the football, and he is down in the end zone.
How does he not let that go?
And so this will be
Oh no, so they're going to put it at the 1.
Football, yeah, man, that looked.
Oh, I thought
on the verge of disaster for Coon Rapids.
How do you not let? How do you not let it go though? I mean, you let that ball bounce. You can't catch it at the 1.
So it is going to be. Yeah, it's going to be on the 1-yard line here.
Yeah, there's the
will
fumble.
Stay with Coon Rapids, but you see Nowachi dropping the football and nearly turning into points for St. Francis.
Well, another long field, and that's exactly what Coon Rapids cannot afford. You know, they're not the offense that's set up for long gains, and they're going to have to be, though.
Yeah. Well, it's the exact situation that they were in on their last drive to
Exactly.
start, backed up in their own territory. So Van Holzen will try to orchestrate the comeback here. Hands it off. Salazar trying to work, and He gains a few yards. That'll give him some breathing room there. Bring up second down. And the time of possession, 24 minutes right now to 11 in favor of St. Francis.
That's just amazing. And give credit to St. Francis.
Yeah.
I mean, they've executed what they wanted to do here, and they've kept Coon Rapids at bay, and Cardinals obviously yet to put a point on the board.
2nd and 7, 11:15 to go here in the fourth quarter. Van Holzen takes the snap, hands it off. Tyler George spins out of one tackle, but they cannot escape the others. We'll have a third down coming up for the offense.
Yeah, it looked a little slow to develop as well, and give the St. Francis defense credit. They stayed with it. Tyler tried to spin out of a tackle and just ran into a couple of white jerseys.
So what will they draw up here? 3rd down and 8. The ball on their 3-yard line, down 9-0. Trying to come back here and punch a ticket to the section championship on Friday against Andover.
Mal's going to call timeout.
Yeah, see if they can just kind of chat things over with here. This is a really key play in this football game. You do not want to give the ball back to St. Francis with not a lot of time left on the clock.
No, and do you have time if you can score on this drive? Yeah, you do. But you don't want to take a lot of time off the clock yourself, because the clock is your enemy right now.
Paul Edwards, the first-year coach here at Coon Rapids. Great experience coaching around the Twin Cities,
Yes,
but
no
his first
question.
year with this program.
He was at Edison, won city championships at Edison.
You know, when I was talking to you about doing this game, the first thing you said to me was that this guy has really brought some renewed life, some new energy to this program that it really needed.
I really like this man. He's put his stamp on the program here early on, and win or lose, it's been a successful year. But I really like what he's doing here at Coon Rapids. And he's really a good guy. I mean, just really a nice man. We had a chance to do a spring sports night, and we sat down. I got a chance to sit down with him and talk to him about his vision, and it was just great.
So big play, 3rd and 8. Van Holzen back to pass in the back of his end zone. It's batted away. And that may be points. Or I guess that'll just be an incomplete pass. Yeah, incomplete pass. But that brings up a 4th down, and they're going to have to boot it away from deep in their own territory.
Well, again, too much time. You know, you gave that defense an opportunity to get in there. Just too much time. And
once again, when St. Francis has needed a big play defensively, a nice job. Looks like that was number 8, Zach Gust, the senior.
Oh, and I think they got a piece of it. And this is going to give St. Francis phenomenal field position.
Yeah, it's grabbed there, and it's going to be 1st down and 10 at the 33-yard line for St. Francis as they really try to take a stranglehold on this football game up 9-0.
Every phase of this game has been played well by St. Francis. Special teams coming in here, and I believe they did get a little bit of a piece of it, enough to give them good field position.
Yeah, special teams have been a really key aspect of this football game for St. Francis. They've backed Coon Rapids up in their own territory, made a field goal, and they're getting the hand on the punt to give them excellent field position, as I'm sure head coach Brent Swagert there would love to put some more points on the board with 10:28 to go.
Oh, no question. You put points on the board here, and there's a possibility that this thing may be over. You get a field goal, you still have a couple of touchdowns could do it, but if they allow a touchdown.
Dacus with the carry. He gains at least 5 yards up to just about the 27-yard line.
And you go down by 3 scores, it's going to be really tough.
And I really do think that you can credit some of this to a team that had the bye, maybe needed some time to get into rhythm, and this is a St. Francis, a team that came off a really, really big win against Duluth East, and maybe they just rolled some of this momentum into today's contest.
Yeah, I mean, just they're emotional coming into this game, obviously, and you know, did Coon Rapids look past them? Certainly not, I would assume.
Still time on the clock here as Lipinski gets the carry. He does not go down, and he rumbles ahead to the 12-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, again, you give all these three, we talked about three running backs. They mix it up here at St. Francis, and just great second effort by Lipinski. I mean, we thought he was bottled up at this point, but, and again, no excuse for that defensively. You have to bring him down. You can't let him get away from that.
St. Francis with some good options at running back. Dacus has had a great game. Lipinski carrying the ball well. We've seen Hoagland in the mix as well.
We have.
So
yep.
They can really churn up some yardage on the ground.
They can, no question about it.
1st and 10, ball on the 12-yard line. Aho takes the snap, hands it off right up the middle. And a flag is thrown by the referee. We'll see who's the guilty party. See the hands up in the air by some of the defensive linemen for Coon Rapids.
That's Frendarius Willis. We'll see what our officials call, but if it's against the Cardinals, it could be a frustration call.
I think he was kind of indicating some hands up high there,
yep.
Maybe some hands to the face situation. As the referees convene.
Dead ball foul, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 50, Coon Rapids. Penalty will be enforced halfway to the goal. 3rd down.
Now we talked about it before the game, Brian. Too many personal fouls on Coon Rapids this year, and there's another one that hurts them in a situation where they're backed up against the goal line.
Yeah,
I don't know if we'll see it from this situation.
50. Looked like he might have pushed down on the.
Oh, was he just trying to get up? But I couldn't see it. I don't know if the guys in the truck got a better view of it.
All the referees deciding it was enough for the penalty.
Yep.
And that's what's going to go into the books and give a 1st down to St. Francis here with 9:05 to go in the 4th quarter. This offense trying to really put the dagger on this Coon Rapids defense. Check that 2nd and 2. 2nd and 2 here from the 4-yard line. Aho, the snap, hands it off. Dacus right up the middle, and I think he's in for the touchdown.
Hoagland.
Hoagland, sorry. Hoagland, another running back getting into the mix for them, and they go ahead now 15-0 here with 8:52 to go.
Yeah, again, just an extra point of your situation. Now you're 3 scores down. Well, if it's 16, you could get 2 extra points. 2-point conversions if you can score, but time is not your friend.
And it looks like they're going to take a timeout.
They will.
St. Francis will. Head coach Brent Swager will take some time to chat about this, see what they want to do. Yeah, the extra point will put you up 16-0. Obviously, you get 2. You get a 17-0 game.
You try for 2 and go up 17-0 and put it, and then it's a 3-score game. I mean, the way they've been running the ball, why not try it at this point? Coon Rapids is going to still have to score twice in under 9 minutes, and they haven't scored yet. So you try for the 2 and see if you can convert it and trust your defense. I think that's what they're going to do.
See Hoagland there celebrating after the touchdown, and tell you what, these white jerseys, it just makes it look like they've worked hard today with all those grass stains and dirt on there. They've really been working hard on the ground.
And you're right, Brian, they have worked hard here this afternoon.
So they're going to go for 2. Try to make this a 17-0 football game. Toss ahead, and there you go, into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. That is Dacus. That offense continues to roll and putting Coon Rapids now here in a very tricky situation as they need points in a hurry.
Yeah, and again, I think that's a smart play. I like that call. I mean, what do you have to lose in this situation? Your defense is stopping Coon Rapids. Coon Rapids has not been able to be successful offensively here this afternoon. Outside of that very first drive to start this game, they've done very little since.
A little wave there you saw from Dacus. So if you're Coon Rapids now, I mean, you really just need points in a hurry. I don't know if there's a certain play call for something like that, but look at the Saints scoring drive here. 14 plays, Took a minute 36 off the clock. They went 33 yards. It was set up all by that tip on the punt, their special teams unit, and it sets up a 4-yard touchdown run for TJ Hoagland.
Yeah, exactly, and you have to be impressed with their game plan. They came in here and they wanted to execute, and they have. You know, you talked about how do you score points in a hurry. Well, it would start with a kickoff return on this kickoff. So that if you could do that, that's points in a hurry. But
we're just going to think best case scenario, I think, from here on out.
Okay,
I'm
good with that.
Kick off for a touchdown. Here we go. We'll see what happens. The boot back there. It is McMahon and Nowachi. He juggles the ball, takes it ahead, looking for some room. He brings a pile ahead with him to the 35-yard line, 34-yard line perhaps, and that's where the offense will take over. So I think just to reiterate, this is a program, St. Francis this year, they only have 2 wins on the season.
Yeah.
And they're now on the verge of going to the section championship.
It's a Cinderella story.
Wow. Time of possession.
Look at double. They've doubled the time of possession.
26 minutes to 13. Not certainly what the big boys up front there, the offensive line for Coon Rapids had in mind. I know they take a lot of pride in that time of possession battle. Just haven't been able to get something going in rhythm offensively so far. See what they can do here with 8:44 to go. Ball on their 33-yard line. Van Holzen going to hand it off. Tyler George stretching it to the far side and picks up a couple yards.
Gets out of bounds to keep the clock from moving.
Again, the winner of this football game going to take over Andover. They won 50-24 earlier today. That section championship game will be on Friday.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Rich Wilkie of the Andover is here now in attendance because their game was early.
And we know that Paul Edwards went and watched St. Francis play on Tuesday up in Duluth. Coaches traveling when they can to scope out the opponent. Tyler George in there at quarterback. He finds Salazar to juke and jive and going to mark him down around the 37-yard line. Didn't look like he ever fully went down, but they did blow the whistle for forward progress. Salazar. Yeah, his knees never touched the ground, but they did blow the whistle. Miles Taylor, staple of this Coon Rapids football team, getting looked at there by the athletic training staff. Something with his ribs. 3rd and 6. Certainly 4-down territory at this point, you would think. Tyler George back, looking downfield. He fires it. That's caught by Nowachi at the 40-yard line, and he goes out of bounds.
Tyler George has that strong arm. You know, we talked about it. He was the starting quarterback all the way through the season until the Hopkins contest.
There's a flag on the play.
It's coming back.
And I think it's coming back.
Yeah.
You see the Cardinals venturing back towards where that play started. Listen in.
Illegal forward pass, number 11.
He's over the line.
He was beyond the line of scrimmage when he released the pass. It's a 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Loss of down, 4th down.
Ooh, so loss of down and a 4th down.
At this point, you have no choice but to go for it.
Yeah, you think so. See what Maul Edwards does, but I'm sure they will keep the offense out there.
A heck of a pass. Right on the numbers.
It was a close call there, but it does not go in favor of Coon Rapids. So 4th down and 11. George in there at quarterback. Back to pass, looking downfield, and was trying to find Brown just out in front of him. And Coon Rapids going to turn it over on downs.
Yeah, and he had Brown as well.
And you really do get the sense for Tyler George's athleticism, especially when he's in there in that quarterback position. Really moves around nicely, but cannot convert there to keep the drive alive. And St. Francis really in business now with 7:37 to go.
Yeah, and so you look at this thing, and Coach Wagner got to be really happy with the outcome. As you talked about, went up to Duluth, got the win there, going on the road here against Coon Rapids, a team that's bigger, stronger, maybe more athletic than St. Francis, but St. Francis has handled their business.
And I talked to him early in the week, and he said, this program. They've been to 3 consecutive section championships. So he said, you know, the size advantage might not be there in favor of us. On paper, we probably shouldn't win this game, but he said we've been here before.
Right.
And I think he knew that that does speak, and that does carry some volume.
No question.
In a situation like this. 2nd and 8. Aho going to work under center. 2 running backs behind him. Receiver to each side. You got to think they're going to just keep trying to churn out the yards on the ground, try to drain that clock here as it rolls below 6 minutes and 50 seconds to go.
Matt Ammon on the tackle for Coon Rapids.
You don't want to write this thing off yet, but you do have to say it's not looking super good for Coon Rapids here at the moment. But what just to reiterate, what an incredible season and a nice turnaround that it's been for them this year. This is not going to, if it does end this way, not exactly how they wanted this thing to go. As a pass over the middle, nice hit there, hard hit. Nowachi in there. And McMahon on the tackle. But they have a lot to build on, from this season as they look ahead to the future.
Yeah, no question. And St. Francis, you know, they could have continued to have the run the ball on the ground, but a nice throw. Receiver plants himself right at the first down marker. Good completion, and they continue to keep this drive alive and move this clock.
Yeah, 6 minutes now to go in the 4th quarter. Try to take up as much time as they possibly can. First down. I think they're probably telling the guys on defense, try to get a strip, try to create some kind of a turnover, and we have a whistle and a flag, an offsides call on the Fighting Saints.
Dead ball foul. False start. Number 51, St. Francis. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Back him up 5 yards. And I just want to remind everybody, he's wearing shorts today.
He's probably not cold at all. He's probably sweating.
I'm complaining about being chilly up here in the press box. Meanwhile, he's got shorts on, and running the team on the far sideline.
And nobody's bringing him hot chocolate.
Oh, my gosh. He deserves a cup of hot chocolate after this one. So Aho takes the snap, hands it off. Lipinski coming up big there defensively. That was Ness. Been racking up the tackles here today. Big leader on that defense.
15 tackles
for him.
It's amazing. I think he's over 100 on the season.
So Dacus has had the touchdown. Also, who had the other? I think it was Hoagland for the other one. Had the other touchdown, and then also a field goal for St. Francis, and that gets us to where we are, 17-0. Converted on the 2-point conversion, 2-point attempt. Lipinski searching for room across the far side. He's still in bounds and trickles ahead to the 6-7 yard line, it looks like, and it's going to be first and goal here for St. Francis with 4:27 to go.
Again, I mean, look at the leadership to the outside. I mean, he just followed those white jerseys to the out. Just a great job by St. Francis blocking on for him. And
runners very patient here today. All their running backs kind of waiting as the guys in front of them do their work, and that time finding some room to work with and out of bounds. And it still will actually be a third down, so we're 3rd and 3 here. Ball on the 15-yard line. Aho takes the snap, hands it off. Once again, that quick handoff to the fullback. And I don't think he got the first down. This is going to be 4th down.
Also, you just keep the ball on the ground, or you kick the field goal. I mean, there's no real use to kick the field goal, I suppose, at this point. I think you just continue to try and run the ball.
Yes, you're going to run out the clock.
Yeah, you're going to give Coon Rapids a long field if you don't make it.
They do have a very good field goal kicker.
They do.
In St. Francis, and that will be a weapon for them as they move ahead. What appears to be advancing in this section tournament.
A lot of heads hanging here.
Yeah, not exactly how they envisioned this one playing out here today at Coon Rapids High School. So they are going to go for it here on 4th down. And a whistle.
Dead ball foul. Delay a game. Offense.
Delay a game.
5-yard penalty.
Didn't quite get
Remains
that snap
4th
off
down.
in time. Yeah, it's hard to kind of put words to this football game. On paper, not exactly playing out how we envisioned it, but I tell you what, I'm sure that a much different story coming from that side of the football field with St. Francis. They knew that maybe if they came in here, played their game, they're 2 for 2 here on 4th downs today, but they clearly believed a 2-win football game team coming in here and on the verge of going to the section championship. A pass, and that's batted away. Number 3, Thomas Silla on the coverage for Coon Rapids, and that'll turn it over on downs.
3.5 minutes remaining. Unless something miraculous happens, a miracle.
Do you believe in miracles?
I do believe in miracles. I do believe in miracles. My wife has stayed with me 30 years, so there's a miracle.
So there's one day.
There's one right there I got going for me.
I know you have to get home and get the dinner on the table.
Nope, I did it. I got it ready.
You cooked earlier.
Yeah, she has to just turn the oven on and put it in.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's for dinner tonight?
Well, it sounds really exciting.
Yeah.
It's a dairy-free tuna noodle casserole.
I love it. Dairy-free.
My wife can't have dairy.
It kind of turned into a cooking show.
Well, that's fine.
/ football game.
Well, your work at Care 11, I'm sure you've done a number of cooking things.
We do a few cooking segments, that's for sure. And then we get to eat the food.
And that's the best part.
That's always a good part of it. See here, Tyler George running hard. And he does pick up the 1st down. So they'll move the chains. So Ball Edwards going with Tyler George to maybe see if he can put a little energy in the arm of its offense.
Well, if nothing else, they'd love to get some points on the board and not get shut out.
Yeah.
Don't like to see that goose egg unless it's your opposition.
George takes the snap, looking for Salazar and batted away defensively there for the Fighting Saints. See George kind of hanging his head there a little bit, and he'll go back to work here. 2nd down and 10. Yeah, good job getting up into the air there.
That was Gust, I believe. Yep.
Yeah, Zach Gust. Big part of this defense. Will be a big part of things moving forward.
Yeah, they're going to have to take on Andover, and I certainly don't envy that task, but,
George is rolling out to try to throw the football. It slipped out of his hands, and I think, we'll see what the call is here from the referee. I think St. Francis fell on it. And no signal yet.
I think
Cardinals it must be staying here with the Cardinals. George might have jumped back down on it himself. So that might just be kind of a sign of the weather here today, this cold weather. A little hard to get a grip of the football there at times.
I wonder if Coach Wagner will put on some long pants when this game is over.
Well, it's good luck apparently. It's his shorts doing the job. I'm sure his adrenaline's been going. I'm sure he hasn't felt the cold very much. George making things happen with his feet there on 3rd down, and he gets it up to about the 35-yard line, and that's where a key 4th down. They want to try to keep things going here, try to put some kind of points on the board here. They need to convert on 4th down.
Yeah, and nobody wants to see a loss, obviously, if you're a Coon Rapids fan or a Coon Rapids player, but, my heart goes out to the seniors on this squad because it'll be their last game wearing the pads for Coon Rapids.
And a bunch of players that have really stuck with the program. Worked through some hard times. I've seen a new football coach come in here today, this season. As an attempt there on 4th down, not converting, incomplete pass, and St. Francis will take over on offense and try to drain the remaining 2 minutes and 3 seconds left on the game clock. But yeah, I mean, they've gone through adversity.
They have.
They've seen a lot of losses here over the years, but they've really been a big part, I think, in turning the program around this year, snapping a big losing streak, and really setting things up very nicely moving forward for this football program.
No question, and this is going to take a while to get over. I mean, this is you get the number 2 seed in this section, and you get that bye, and we haven't seen a bye in a number of years, and then they come in and get outplayed, get manhandled by St. Francis in every facet of the game.
And at home, too.
And at home, too, as well, correct.
St. Francis going to try to turn out some yards on the ground. Handoff there up the middle. It is Hoagland, one of the guys with a touchdown here today, the senior. So they will advance, and they're going to play Andover, it appears, on Friday. A 2-win football team. This will be their 3rd win of the season. They will advance. Once again, Hoagland getting the carry. With 1:15 to go. Well, Howie, it's been fun. Thanks for letting me hang out.
Yeah, it's been great. Thanks for hanging out.
Pleasure to come hang out. It's all the hardworking crew here at CTN to make this thing happen, getting here early this afternoon in this cold weather.
Yeah,
running those cameras.
They do.
Big thanks to them.
They do a great job. We couldn't do what we do if it weren't for them.
As we sit here sipping hot chocolate.
Yeah, well, we're prima donnas. What can we say?
So 45 seconds to go. 3rd and 1. See if he has enough there, and I believe he does.
He does.
That will move the chains. Temporarily stop the clock. Hoagland and the rest of his crew will move ahead. Who cleans their jerseys, I wonder? They have a lot of work ahead of them.
They do.
Between now and Friday to try to get all the stains out of their jerseys.
Look, they got some
white
time.
Jerseys.
They got some time to work on that.
And victory formation now as Aho takes the snap.
And that's going to do it.
Puts a knee down, and that will do it. There you see the celebration. St. Francis with a very, very big win here on the road in the section semifinals. 17-0 is the final.
Tough loss for Coon Rapids, no question.
Not the way that Coon Rapids wanted to see this one end up.
Well, they had a great week of practice.
Yeah.
Coming in here, and a lot of enthusiasm.
And here's a look at the game recap, some of the highlights in case you missed it. Special teams was a huge part of this for St. Francis, backing up Coon Rapids deep in their own territory. A couple of nice defensive plays there from the cornerback, the sophomore quarterback for St. Francis, batting it away. And some miscues. Certainly they see Kenny Nawachi there, getting into some trouble deep in his own territory. And I think really the moral of the story offensively on the ground, through the air, really in all facets, they just could not find a rhythm to put any points on the board. Lipinski were running hard, one of those kind of trio of running backs that got it done on the ground today for the Fighting Saints.
Yeah, in a number of situations where they found themselves in 2nd and 3rd and long, and again, that's not their offense. It really took them out of their game. And the Cardinals, if you asked me, was it going to be a goose egg on the scoreboard? I would have said yeah for St. Francis. I would not have said for Coon Rapids, but give credit to St. Francis. They just did a great job. They controlled this game from start to finish, and as you see there, they're going to take on the Andover Huskies on Friday night at 7 o'clock over at Andover. And they're going to come in as the underdog, and they're going to have an opportunity to see if they can implement a game plan this week and see if they can pull off the upset yet again.
Yeah, a role that they're used to being in as underdogs. They beat Duluth East. They beat Coon Rapids here today. They'll see if they can do it again against Andover on Friday. For all of us here at CTN, thank you so much for tuning in. The season unfortunately coming to a finish for Coon Rapids High School, but what a season it was for them. Everybody trying to stay warm. We hope you were staying warm as you watched the broadcast. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. St. Francis with the win today, 17-0, and they advance. They'll play Andover on Friday. Take care, everybody. We'll see you soon.